Hello, everyone. This is Julie from August Birdsong, and I just wanted to give you a little preview of my upcoming design team journal for the Graphics Fairy. And it's obviously a Christmas theme, but I'm calling it the Gift Giver and Other Christmas Lore because it's really about the origins of the Santa Claus figure and how especially the American version of Santa Claus came to be. And so I didn't show the cover because I'm saving that for when it comes out on the Graphics Fairy. But I did show the inside cover here, and we have kind of a somewhat traditional Santa Claus figure here. He's one of many that you can find at the Graphics Fairy's premium membership website, as well as on the free blog, which comes out during like on Friday with the free newsletter, and it gives you access to free images through the Graphics Fairy. And so, whoops, she didn't belong in there. But these are just some of the varying types of Santa Claus or Saint Nicholas characters that you can find through the Graphics Fairy. And my story is actually going to go back to about 280 AD in what would be modern day Turkey. And it's beginning there because that's where the origin of Santa Claus is. It's with a real human being, a boy named Nicholas, who was an orphan, and his parents had been wealthy but died of the plague. And so he was left an inheritance, but he was much better at giving money away or gifts than necessarily spending it. And that is the beginning of the Santa Claus story, really. So what I've done here is I've taken, these are actually from bookmarks in the stained glass windows bookmarks from the stained glass windows bundle at the Graphics Fairy. This is the other page of them. And basically I just cut them out and mounted them on book pages, which I then stitched, but I also just painted with some acrylic gold paint, and of course added my perfect pearls and all of that. And I've made it so that the doors open, and I did that just with some muslin hinges, and you just have that with I always look at it like my thumb, about an inch of fabric. It doesn't have to be muslin, any kind of sort of flexible fabric. And about a half inch goes on one part of the page, and the other half gets mounted on whatever the flip, whether it's a tag or a door or some kind of other page. And so here we're looking at an image of a bishop, and this is Nicholas, who was known as the boy bishop because he was the youngest bishop in the Christian church. And he's not necessarily totally young looking, but he's a younger looking image there. And so I chose that. And I also found this on the free blog through the Graphics Fairy. So I've put him there because his spirit of generosity is where Santa Claus developed from worldwide. And so what happened, one of the many stories of Saint Nicholas, and at this point he wasn't a saint yet, but one of his famous stories is of helping three sisters. And the three sisters, who I'm depicting here with this vintage photograph of three lovely girls and one who even has angel wings, is about three sisters. And the oldest sister was going to sell herself into slavery in order to provide a dowry for her two younger sisters. And a dowry was money that would go to the groom when the sisters married. And they were so poor that wasn't going to happen. And so she didn't want her two younger sisters to end up as slaves either. And so she planned to do that. Well, young Nicholas, heard of this and secretly at night went and dropped gold coins. Remember, he inherited wealth from his parents, through the window into their stockings that were hanging to dry in the evening air. And he did this for 3 consecutive nights until there was enough money that all 3 of the sisters would have dowries. Remember that for centuries, when young women married, it was more of a business transaction. The family gained wealth and status through the marriage, and part of that was through the dowry. And so a girl without a dowry was not likely to either marry or end up maybe in a happy marriage situation, because it was about money and business and status in the community. And so that is where that story originates. Now, like I said, Nicholas went on to become the youngest bishop and continued his good works. And in 343, on December 6th, Nicholas actually died. And it was after his death that he became a saint. And all over the world, the idea of this Saint Nicholas took life, and children, would hang stockings at their hearth or by their window, or put shoes on the porch in hopes that generous Saint Nicholas would visit them and leave them some treats. Now, treats, years and years ago, might have been nuts and a little fruit, maybe a little simple toy of some sort. But on the night of December 5th, children would hang their stockings or put their shoes out. And on the morning of December 6th, they would look to see if good St. Nicholas had visited and left them something. And so that's where this page goes. And here, these 2 pages are again a reminder of the 3 sisters' story. And here's just a little book page with 3 sisters hanging their stockings. And I've just used as matting some simple book pages. I added a little gold paint to the edges. And this is actually the spine of an old book. You've heard me mention that before. It's that part that with the binding that holds all the pages together, but it creates such interesting texture. I like to use it when possible, just to make my pages a little more tactile. So I will give you a few more updates and highlights of this journal coming out. It should be out a week from yesterday. So that's next Wednesday. And I want to say, let's see, today's the 2nd. So I think it's about the 9th of December or so. But it's on a Wednesday. It'll come out on the Graphic Fairies YouTube channel. And you'll learn a lot more about St. Nicholas and how other cultures depicted him. And sometimes he didn't even have the name St. Nicholas. He had a totally different name. Until eventually We have, through immigration, immigrants over the years coming to America, bringing their cultural versions of St. Nicholas to America, and the American Santa Claus was born. So I'll see you another time. Bye-bye.